Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1481, raising your vibration for a super fantastic sparkling week. I don't know, that just sounded like a great topic tonight. I was actually, hang on, I got to cross my countdown off. All right, now we're ready to rock and roll. Okay, got my butterfly. All right, so raising your vibration for the week. Well, first of all, people have been messaging me all day. How's the storm? How's the hurricane? How's the storm? Okay, here's the situation. Boots on the ground here in Surprise, Arizona. We've had no rain, nothing. We've had a breeze. We've had a slightly heavy breeze. Not really windy, but well, put it this way, it wasn't windy enough to blow my hat off. And I have a sun hat with a wide brim, and I have a chin strap for it, and I haven't used the chin strap. Yeah. We went out this morning. It was 79 degrees when we went out for a walk this morning, which was awesome. Can't remember the last time we were outside below 80 walking. Definitely not what we've been in this house. So it was, so if you're watching on Facebook, there could be a problem with the stream. There could be a problem with the stream on Facebook. It just popped up right now. So if you're watching this on, it says edit. I don't know what's going on with this thing. Okay, so this is just going on. I don't know what it's actually been broadcasted on. So anyway, we'll just let it roll. We're just going to roll with the flow, go with the flow. It'll sort itself out later. If I have to post it as a post later on, I'll do that. It's not a problem. It's live on YouTube. It's live in the Have to Cruise. It's just on my personal page for whatever reason. It's not streaming. We'll just let it ride. Okay, so now that we've had the warning from Facebook for my Facebook page, so I apologize to those who are now having to watch the re-recording of this. And I don't have my phone in here. I'll put a quick message on there, but I can't. We're getting sidetracked. This is all the part about going live. You never know what's going to happen. You got to be prepared for everything. You got to be prepared for unexpected things to happen. And that's part of raising your vibration for the week is part of raising your vibration helps you to keep that vibration high even when things are going against you. Like it's not currently streaming into my Facebook page, which is perfectly fine. I have 2 other venues it's going into. I'll just attach the replay later on. It's not a problem. So because I'm in such a positive frame of mind today, I'm not worrying about it. They said we'll get rain today. So for those of you who are worried about us here in Surprise, who have been messaging me all day, how's the hurricane? First of all, it's a tropical. It was downgraded to a tropical storm yesterday, I think it was. We got a little bit of wind. I got all excited this morning because I looked out on the patio and there were raindrops out there. I was like, yes! I go running out there ready to dance in the rain. Dancing in the rain helps raise the vibration. And Zeffy was going nuts. She was like chasing me around because she thought, Mum's in play mode. No, Mum was just in dance mode because of the rain. It turned out it wasn't raining. What was happening is the guy behind us, in the house behind us, was power washing his house. And because the wind that was blowing at the heavy breeze we had at the time, it was blowing the water over into our yard, and that was our rain. But that's okay. We had fun out there anyway. Zeffy went crazy. She'd go like zooming off into the house, spin around in there, and come flying back out at me. And we just had such a fun time outside, whether it was raining or not. So who knows? Anyway, look, I thought I told you guys to go away. All right, there we go. that warning sign thingy was flashing up again. So that was the start, and it was a fun start to the day. And when you're having fun in your day, it helps raise your vibration, because your vibration should come from a place of love and gratitude. And every single day, I am thankful for everything that I have. I am thankful for the abundance that I have in my life that comes from a place of love. It is just an incredible feeling. We had an awesome walk out there this morning. We saw some poor guy, shouldn't say poor guy. We saw a guy out there playing the disc golf thing, and he ended up at one spot at the tee for one of the holes, throwing 4 different discs to get one that suited him. One went out of bounds that way, one went out of bounds that way, one kind of landed on the greenway, on the fairway, and the other one was a little shorter than that. But you had one that was really good, but the first one went out of bounds that side, next one went out of bounds that side. Because what happened, and this is what happened, is that when he went to he had everything lined up. He was doing this thing. When he went to toss the frisbee or throw the frisbee, I don't know the exact terms. When he went to tee off with his frisbee, there was basically no wind. And then this wind picked up just as he released, and it put his frisbee in out of bounds over that side. So then he gets out another disc and goes to try it again. And he goes to compensate now for the wind, because the wind's blowing. So he does the toss for it to compensate for the wind that would then drift it onto the greenway. No, the wind dropped just after he released it. So it ended up going out of bounds on the left-hand side. I'm like, and we're walking up along the path watching all this, and I'm like thinking, this poor guy. And so then he just gets a frisbee, and he stands there, and you can see him like going through the motions, and you can see the little wheels clicking in his head and stuff as he's prepping himself for this one, trying to make his calculations. And there's no wind, and he does this throw, and it was like a really good throw. It went down the fairway a little bit and stopped. And I knew where his three of it. And so then he decides to throw a fourth one, and that one went a little bit further than the third good throw. So I thought, okay, he's making up for it. He's getting better. It's okay. The wind came along and knocked the game out a little bit, but he got back into it again. Made the corrections, the wind played with him again, and then he made another correction, and everything went fine. It's all about raising the vibrations. It's making those changes and adjustments that you need to help keep your vibration raised. So some of the other ways that you can raise vibrations is be kind to yourself. If something goes wrong, don't get mad at yourself. Don't blame yourself. If just think about, okay, what did I do this time that I can change next? If this happens again, what can I do next time to make sure that that it doesn't happen again? Because if it's something like customer service, I work on a help chat. I've worked customer service desks for a long time. Every job I have had has had some form of customer service. I have worked on help desks before. I have worked on help desks for a computer company where you get people going, my computer's not working well. Have you done this? Have you done that? And I have my little checklist of questions. But it's always making sure that the customer gets the best service I can give them at that point in time. And they're getting the best of me. Even if I'm feeling cruddy, like I really don't have the energy, or I'm just not feeling it that day, that client at the other end of the phone or the other end of the chat does not know I'm having a crappy day. It's all about picking myself up and showing up that I am the best in customer service. And that's basically how I show up every single time. Yes, behind the scenes, I might bitch and moan and complain and everything else. But as far as that client is concerned, they're getting the best of the best. And that's part of, raising the vibration. But if something doesn't quite go right, don't beat yourself up about it. Just take a deep breath, look at everything and go, okay, we've had this negative moment. We're going to think about where it came from. We're going to ask ourselves, how can I change that inner voice so that next time this happens, I'm coming from a different perspective, a different place where I'm not going to feel as down this time around. So that's another way that you can raise a vibration. Be kind to yourself. Be full of gratitude and love. And I know you're going, yeah, it's all that woo-woo stuff. Yeah, well, guess what? Some of that woo-woo stuff works. Hate to break it to you. One of my favorite ways of, and one of the reasons I love where we live right now, and the fact that I can go walking, that we go for walks twice a day, is we can get back to Mother Nature. We're walking through they've got this beautiful park that just stretches from down there all the way down the blocks down there. When the temperatures start getting a little cooler and a little more receptive for walking, we had a lot of humidity today, which is unusual for us. But we're also on 150 plus days of no measurable amounts of rain, and that's because over 150 days ago was the start of monsoon season, and during monsoon season, which is when Arizona gets most of its water from, that lasts for the rest of the year. I thought I heard an ice cream truck. I'm hearing faint sounds of music that sounds like an ice cream truck, but it's not close enough yet, so I can't really define it. But anyway, getting back into nature is the fact that we can go for a walk through these parks. There's trees around, there's grass around. We go walking on the grass. We go walking around Zeffie likes to sniff around the trees. And if you have seen my TikTok today, I took some pictures of her sniffing because if you see the logo for Your Family Tree Detective, we've got the tree there. I'm dressed up as Sherlock Holmes, and you can see the dog. You can see a dog digging. Well, that's Zeffie digging, trying to dig and get the clues out. So she happened to be sniffing this tree today, and I thought, oh, let me take some pictures of this. And we're sniffing around looking for those ancestors, and that's basically what it was. So we just took a group of pictures and put it into, I don't know, one of those template things where you can put multiple pictures in, and it does its little slides and things and whatnot. So I don't know what it's called, but it worked. But we also, when we're in there as well, I got this here in the. Okay, there we go. That's better. When we're out walking, you get to see all the birds flying around, and you see the rabbits racing around, and you see the little bunny rabbits, and you see the big bunny rabbits, and you see the quail family, and you know what you got to look. If you've never seen a picture of a quail, I got to take a picture of it, although they run too fast for me to grab a picture of them. But they look like that little question mark over the head. They're the cute. I tell you, they are the cutest and funniest things to watch running, because when they run, their legs are going so far. You know how hummingbirds' wings get blurry when they're flying? A quail's legs get like that when they start running really fast. It's hilarious. And you've got mum and dad corralling the kids, and they've got like the family that I always see have got like 10 chicks. And they're corralling the chicks and getting them to go in one direction, and one parent at the front, one parent at the back to bring up the rear and help gather the stragglers, and one leading the way. One corrals the stragglers and pushes them on towards where the other parents go. It is so fun to see, and it's getting out there and watching those sorts of things. And I see hummingbirds almost on a daily basis, and I always think of Brad when I see the hummingbirds, because that was a bird that he liked. We see a lot of butterflies. Right now we're seeing a lot of these beetles. Like we go walking down this pathway, and there's just like all these little beetles everywhere, and I don't know what sort of beetles they are, but at first I thought they were spiders, and I'm like, oh great, but then I looked closer and saw they were actual beetles. So but it was getting out in nature. It was just hearing those sounds again, and hearing the birds chirping and singing along. And at night we hear I guess it's the crickets or the cicadas that are having their little musical time, along with the occasional birds and everything else, as they're settling down. And of course, you walk under their tree and it shocks them, so they go flying. Hey, and it's out there in nature, and just taking that. It's this peace, it's this oasis in the middle of just this little oasis that's in the middle there, that you can go and you can get back with nature again. That's another way to raise your vibrations, get in touch with nature. And it's even in and we just go for walks through this, and it's great. And you see kids out playing. And last night when we were out walking, and it was just such a beautiful evening, even though it was 89 degrees. It was still a beautiful evening, and there were a lot of families out there and kids on the playgrounds. Zeffie just wanted to go to the playground. She wanted to interact with the children. I tell you, living in this, I don't know what this area is doing for her, but she's sort of like, when we're out walking, she hears children playing, and she's like, where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Like she's looking around. Where are these kids? Where are they? And because she wants to go and check on the kids and play with the kids and make sure they're okay. And I was like, no, they're good. The kids are good. You can hear them splashing in the pool and screaming and yelling and all that sort of stuff. And but those are just some things that can help you raise your vibration for the week. What do you have coming up? What exciting stuff do you have coming up this week? I mean, one of the things I have coming up this week is, we've got Zeffie's surgery on Thursday to remove that little tiny cancerous mass off her leg. And I'm putting out positive thoughts that that's the only place in her body that there's cancer, and they cut it off and that's it. We're done with it. That's my positive vibration I am putting out there, is that it will be a really cool surgery and she'll get everything done. The other vibration I'm putting out there is we'll get Sparkles moved this weekend, or get it up and running to be able to move. We have to move it by the 31st. Actually, no, technically we have until the 1st of September, the morning of the 1st of September, like 11 a.m. on the 1st of September to move it. But I want to get it out of there before then. And I have actually been looking around, and there's some places. There's one just down the road here, which I've never been to before, where their entire lot is all undercover parking for RVs. Like they have the big tall shelters that have solar panels on top, and each site has its own power outlet there, so you can trickle feed your batteries. And I'm like, yes. But I want to get it under shelter because I do have a leak on my roof at the back somewhere that drips down into through the roof in the bedroom on top of the slide when the slide's out. Well, even when the slide's in, but it comes off the main roof. So it's not one that I can stop by putting the slide in. So I need to get that, have a place where I can park, that I can go and get that and check that out and all of that sort of stuff. But it means that, you just tell them how long your vehicle is, and these lots are I think they're like 14 to 15 feet wide, which is perfect for when you don't have the slide in. But if you have to put a slide out, you have the space to do it. Because my vehicle's 8 foot wide, and when the slides are out, I think I'm sitting at like 12 or 13 feet wide. So I have space to put slides out if I need to. Or I can just move the RV over a little bit to put one slide out and do it that way as well. So, there's a lot of positives of this, and it was really, really good pricing. Way cheaper than than what we were paying for our storage units. A lot cheaper than the storage units. And it's undercover, and it's got this, and they have a dump station there, and they have, what else do they have? The dump station, they had the water there to fill up your tanks, drinking water that you could, water that can be used for drinking water. You just got to put the drinking water hose on, and there are differences in hoses. You got the water hose for drinking water, and you've got the water hose for gardening. And the water hose for drinking, it doesn't have that really weird garden hose smell. It doesn't smell like anything when it comes out. So you've got all that there, that they have the water station, they have the dumping station, and everything's undercover. And I'm like, oh, yes. And I think on these ones you back in. So the back end, which is where my leak is that I want to fix, is at the back of the RV. So having it backed in makes it perfect, because if the wind and rain comes in, and it's hitting the front, it's not going to be leaking at the back. Yes. So my plan is to get there and get that taken care of as well. So everything's starting to look up, and everything's looking up. Everything's sort of falling into place. And so it's already, and it's just starting to be a super fantastic, sparkling week. So what is it that you can raise your vibration on? Is it the ability to sit and now I did some daydreaming this afternoon, I have to admit. When I finished work, I ended up doing some daydreaming, which is why I was late on, because after the weekend, with the book launch that's on, the fact that I'm doing a class on writing books and publishing them, there's just a lot going on in my head right now. And I kind of took yesterday off to process everything, and my brain's still whirring with ideas and stuff. So then I just sort of okay, let's process in a way that if this happens, what can we bring into existence by putting it out there into the universe, that this is, we're going to use this to do this. We're going to use this to support this, and we're going to use this. And so I started building again, I already have my mind map done for my $100 million business. But then after learning stuff yesterday, it was sort of like, well, now I can use this tool to do this, and I can use this tool to do that. And this falls under this category, and this falls under this category, and we want to do this. And so it started off some fresh ideas and some ways that I can help my existing ideas and get them boosted too. So everything's just getting into that daydreaming mode and just helping everything move along. And I'm feeling fantastic. There's another inch off my waist, I think it was. Was it an inch or was it half an inch? Waist has shrunk this week. That's all I can tell you. I've got to go have a look at my little record book. I know where I started. I know where I am now. And I'm down 2 full inches and not an inch and a bit. It's now 2 full inches. So I think it was half an inch that came off this week. And that's just through not really being more conscious of what I'm eating, but not actually being on any specific eating plan. It's just make it up as I go along. It's as far as exercise goes, it's just movement. It's doing extra movement. It's standing up from the chair. It's dancing to some music. It's instead of walking around the halls, doing like a little trot down the halls instead. And Zeffie thinks it's fun. And when I go trotting off down the halls, the hallway here, Zeffie thinks it's chase time. So she comes roaring past me, does this fast turn in the bedroom and looks at me, ready to pounce. So, we make it fun, but we're not lazing about as much as we were. And of course, we've still got the boxes that we're going through too. So that provides extra movement. It's providing weight training with boxes. And yes, there's been some heavy boxes that I have moved. I'm kind of organizing behind me. I've emptied out a few more boxes, and now I'm organizing what boxes are there, because I have a plan on how to build a bookcase just using bricks and wood rather than buying a bookcase. I'll just go get some concrete blocks and some 12-foot long planks that are 2 to 4 inches thick and 6 to 8 inches wide, probably 8 inches wide. 8 inches wide I think is what I need. So yeah, 12 by 8 by 4 because of the weight of the books. And we're just going to put them in between concrete blocks, and there's my bookcase. And it's going to go across the wall down the back, on the other side of the curtain there, the far wall and that, and that'll be my reading area. So I can't go and line my boxes of books up along there because how am I going to, I'm going to go then move them all again to put the bricks in place. So that's the plan. When is it going to take place? Who knows? When I get around to it. No, not when I get around to it. It's just finding the time and getting creative with my schedule, because I need to now, I've got other things I now need to put into my schedule. So we're getting creative with the schedule. So I still have my training times. I still have my work times, and I have time set aside for clients. And it's just been, last week it ended the week on a really good high note, and we're continuing it in through this week. So think of ways that you can raise your vibration through, connecting with nature, changing the way you're thinking about things, changing perspective on situations, looking at things from a different situation, taking time, just taking a few minutes to just sit quietly and daydream. You need like five, maybe 10 minutes. You can do it in 5 minutes. If you can find 5 minutes, find 5 minutes. Everybody can find 5 minutes in your schedule. If you're sitting on the toilet for 5 minutes, you can meditate while you're sitting there. You can daydream. You can find 5 minutes somewhere. But that's it from, go find the 5 minutes. Find things to be positive about. Raise your vibration. Come from a place of gratitude and love and everything. And even if you really don't like your job, be the best damn person you can be at that job, because that will help raise your vibration. If it's a job that you really don't, I've had jobs in the past that I don't like, but I give 110% to that job. And, I may bitch and moan about it behind the scenes, but when I'm in front of the customer or I'm helping a customer, they have no clue what's going on. They just see this person that's giving them the best service that they've ever had, or attempting to give them the best service they've ever had, depending on how grumpy they are, or how against the system they are, or whatever, or how frustrated they are. It's helping them have a better day. So go out, give yourself a better day, take time for yourself, and go out and have a super fantastic sparkling day, and get this ready for a super fantastic sparkling week, because that's what it's going to be. Anyway, we'll see you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. Hey, Canada.